guess it's Linux time. I fixed my blue screen issue 13 years ago. I switched to Linux and never looked back. Linux. Just Linux. Just install Linux. Windows isn't worth your time. I only use Linux or Windows 10. Just use Linux, man. If I were you, I would install Linux. Use Linux. Tip, switch to Linux. Install Linux. So you're going to switch to Linux, right? Right? Laughs in Linux. Just go Linux. Uninstall Windows. Install Linux. Another Linux ad incoming. Best ad for Linux. Yeah, for real. Give me my paycheck, Linux. 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 Time to switch to Linux. Anyway, you guys get the point. Alright guys, and welcome back to another video. So last week, no, around 2 weeks ago, I made a video where I showed you guys that my PC was kind of brick. I'm actually banned right now. Type in my passcode. The sign-in option is disabled because of failed sign-in attempts or repeated shutdowns. Use a different sign-in option or keep your device powered on for at least 2 hours and try again. If you guys don't know, I had this issue with my SSD, which at the end it was the SSD, which was corrupted, and it caused a blue screen of death every time the startup process of Windows has begun. So it would load up something, I guess maybe there was also like a corrupted file or a driver, which I actually never got to figure out. It would just blue screen of death after every startup process. So I would log in, it would freeze, blue screen of death, and then repeat, and then at some point Windows just kind of timed me out or banned me for 2 hours at a time because I was making too many login attempts, and they were successful, which I have no idea why they did that, because the attempts were successful. I'll get it, you know, if it was like they were unsuccessful and I failed every time, but there was literally not a time where I entered my password incorrectly. Literally every time it was a successful login, so I don't know why they did that. It's a stupid system in my opinion. But where I was going with that is that video ended up blowing up and getting over like 21,000 views, and then almost 900 people commented some tips and then either promoting Linux and stuff like that. Thank you so much for commenting, and over like 200 people subscribed to me, so thank you very much if you subbed. We're actually really close to getting 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy to think about. Thank you very much. And the whole week pretty much I was just trying to reply to every comment. Well, keyword is try, reply to every comment that people left, but at some point I got mixed up if it was like a reply to my reply, and then if there was like a new comment. I don't really know how to filter through that, even the YouTube dashboard. So sorry if I didn't get to reply to you, or if you commented that I didn't get to you, but I just want to make like a general response video to everyone, so you know, so we can wrap up that video, I guess, right? So if you didn't finish the last video, which I don't blame you for because it was kind of a long video, but I did end up fixing it, fixing the whole computer by the end of that video, and basically the whole problem was with my old SSD, M.2 SSD. I ended up RMAing it, and I guess it was faulty because even after formatting the whole drive, deleting all the files, installing brand new Windows 11 install on the same drive, it was still giving me the same blue screen of death and the freezing. So nothing changed me. If it's not the software, it literally must be the hardware. And the way I found that out is because my brother gave me a whole like brand new SSD just to test if it's the old SSD that was faulty. I installed Windows 11 on the one he gave me, and literally I've been using that drive ever since pretty much. So yeah, a few people in the comments were actually suggesting to reinstall Windows or test other components, which I think I mentioned in the last video that for example I tried to use my old GPU, which also didn't work. I reseated the CPU, I switched up some of the RAM stick positions and stuff. So yeah, literally I tested everything I possibly could have, except the power supply, but it wasn't power supply just because I knew it didn't make sense how the computer was behaving. Also, to the person who commented for me to update my motherboard BIOS to the most recent release, you have a very good point, and I have no idea why the luxarx tech support had me install only like 3 or 4 versions behind. You know, that doesn't make sense now that I think about it, but I will get to that eventually. And I found out I have to make an offline account for my Windows. I have no idea how to do that, but I'm gonna figure it out because people said it might be helpful for the future time this might happen, if it happens, or hopefully not, but I want to be prepared. And also, apparently you can actually disable the passcode even if you're locked out. That's crazy. That would have been really nice to know while I was still locked out for like 2 hours at a time. So that's actually possible. That could have avoided the whole video. And finally, one thing that made me surprised the most of all of the comments is how popular Linux actually is. Based on the comments I was getting, I really thought people just like started using Linux because PewDiePie made a video on it and they want to check it out, and that's how it got so popular. I've always thought of it as like, you know, as an indie software that, you know, people just get because they really hate Windows. But apparently people have been using it for way longer than I thought, and it's crazy how people stand by it. So I will definitely check out Windows, Linux software, specifically probably SteamOS. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really appreciative of all the suggestions that you guys commented and stuff in the previous video, but I really don't want to make a switch to a new operating system right now, just because I've used Windows my whole life, and I really have no reason to switch. I have my whole workload figured out on Windows. I have all the programs I need on Windows, and yes, this whole thing was a big problem which prevented me to use my computer for like 2 months. But at the end of the day, it was a hardware issue, which, you know, I got fixed, and I'm back to using my computer as I was using it before the issue. Like, yes, the account creation and, you know, some of the tracking stuff is really annoying, but most of the time I just turn them off and forget about them until I remember if I should check. There's like a Windows update, and I should check the settings again if they were turned on again, and I turn them off. It's like a seamless process to me, right? I know with Linux, I wouldn't have to worry about all the security stuff and all that, but if I do go Linux, I would have to use programs like Wine to run Windows-specific programs, which I'm already using right now without any Wine or any other compatibility program. So there is really no reason for me to go. That's just to test it out as a whole new experience, which I might do for another video because it does sound like a good idea, like similar to Windows guys switching to Mac or something like that. You know? But yeah, just overall, I don't know why I would switch to a different OS when everything I have works at this point. And like I also have been replying to a lot of comments from the previous video that have been suggesting Linux. I am waiting for SteamOS to fully release. But also some other commenters were saying that it's only compatible right now with a Ryzen CPU and GPU, but I only have a Ryzen CPU because I have a 3070 right now, so that wouldn't work anyway right now. So I'm really just waiting for SteamOS, maybe to try it on the USB just to see how it works, because I do have a Steam Deck and I can use regular SteamOS there if I need to. But still, it's a good idea for the future, and I might run into that if I have low content or something. But yeah, so, and if you're watching this video after you watch my previous video, I suggest you go back, and if you skipped most of it, just skim through the video just to see all the things I actually did, because a lot of the comments people were typing I did try in the video, but I understand that, you know, it's a long-winded video, so people might not have gotten to that part. So guys, if you're still more interested in what I did there and stuff, yeah, just go back, skim through it, maybe you'll catch up on something. Also, shout out to Bazantress for suggesting to get a heatsink for an SSD. I didn't even know those were sold separately, so I will definitely be getting one for the new one I got from the RMA. But yeah guys, I'm gonna end it right here, so thank you guys very much for watching the previous video and this video. If you tuned in, thank you for subscribing and commenting. It's crazy that we're so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I really want to hit that, so please subscribe if you liked this video. Go back to my previous one to see what I'm talking about if you're new, and thank you very much for all the comments and suggestions. A lot of them I will be taking notes and stuff for the future, because I'm still gonna stay with Windows, but we're gonna try Linux for a future video at some point. So yeah, thank you guys very much for the support, and bye bye.